Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to Big Man Alaska, and here we are going to be discussing this tabletop wood stove. It's supposed to be smokeless. You can use it with wood pellets. I got this piece of Tupperware thing full of wood pellets. I couldn't find anything else to go in here, so wood pellets works out just fine. I bought the cheapest wood pellets I could find at Walmart, and they were about $7 for a pretty good sized bag. I also bought some wood chips because I was going to try wood chips in here as well after I do the pellet burn. And another thing I wanted to do was try to cook up a couple Polish sausages I got at Costco, and I bought a lighter to hopefully get this going. Now all you really need to get it going is just a little bit of paper, and I just ripped up this Walmart bag as something I'm going to use. But yeah, let's get inside the product and see what's inside the bag. Because this is supposed to be a safe option for camping and just suburbs type lifestyle, and I have some thoughts of my own about that situation there, so we're going to check it out and see exactly what we have here. All right, it comes in this handy dandy little bag. It is super lightweight. When there's no packing material in here, it does make a little bit of noise, so if that's a problem on the trail, just put some wash rags or something inside and it will hopefully curb down the noise. Now it has a nice little zipper on top, and I did put a little bit of the packing back inside just to keep things from bouncing around a little bit on the inside. Now when we open the package, first thing we have, this is the top of the stove. We have the little metal insert that goes like right down in the middle. I'll show you all this here in just a second. And the next piece, this is kind of the burning element to help you get all the oxygen, and then this piece sits right in the middle right there. And then you pull out the next piece. This is the outside of the stove, and this is all brushed stainless steel, and it's pretty nice looking from first glance. I have had a chance to play around a little bit with this stove, and that's the reason why I bought it, because I thought it was very interesting and I wanted to get it, and I was very pleased when they sent this bag with it, because that's going to be nice for when I want to pack it up, just take it out random places and maybe cook some s'mores for the kids or do some hot dogs, potentially something else. This isn't a cook stove, just so you're aware, but it can be dual purpose, and we're going to attempt that here later on. But it comes with this wood block. Now, I was looking at the reviews earlier, and this gets burned after a period of time, especially if you overload the stove with wood. It's going to actually burn this surface. That's actually normal, but some people have had issues where it actually burned their table, or the table they were using at a campground, or their own personal table they were using outside, maybe on their porch or their deck. But you take this piece here, you set it down, this piece goes here, this is the next piece that goes right in the middle, and then this piece here sets right down on the inside there. So when you get ready to take your paper, you're going to wad up some paper and you're going to put it down on the inside there. We're going to fill up this outer rim up to pretty close to the top of this. And I've seen people overload it like all the way to the top and it still burns, but they don't recommend you do that because it has a chance of actually clogging the airflow and making the airflow a little bit different, which will create a fire that has some smoke. And the whole point of this is smoke free. So then the last piece we have here, it kind of looks like it wants to go on like this, but I believe it's supposed to be going on just like that right there. Now this isn't something that's safe to just set a pot or a pan down on top. Not necessarily a good idea, because it's going to choke off the airflow all the way around. If you were wanting to use this as a dual purpose stove, you would have to like make a metal rack that goes up pretty close to this high, just so the heat will actually hit something and dissipate outwards. That would be a good idea. All right, so I have a little area set up outside and just got my camping chair set up. I got a milk crate. We're going to use the milk crate instead of my actual picnic table because I don't want to burn my picnic table. And I have a feeling that this is going to get so hot. And I'm going to try this in a couple different ways to see if I can recreate some of the situations where somebody might have actually burned their table. And I have a theory behind that, but I want to try this out in a couple different ways and see how it works. Because overall, safety with fire is very important. So if you wanted to be utterly safe with this product, especially on a table. I would recommend you getting some oven mitts. That way you can at least pick it up and move it, put it on the ground safely or dispose of it properly, and hopefully not cause a major issue. So first things first, we're going to take this off. So that's that little piece that I had in the middle. And we're going to take enough of this paper, and we're just going to rip off a piece, maybe a couple pieces. Then we're just going to kind of crumple it up, because that's what's going to go. We're going to put that right in the middle here. And then we're going to light that on fire. So put that in there just like that. You see how that looks there? Okay. And then we're going to fill this up with just enough wood pellets to hopefully get a fire going here shortly. And no, I am not going to be starting a fire on my kitchen table. That would be absolutely nonsense. Wow, that comes out fast. Okay, so the recommended height that they talk about in the instruction manual, and they have a very, very lengthy instruction manual, it says to only fill it up this high. Now, I've seen people fill it up just about all the way to the top, and it worked fine. But I do believe if you just kept filling it and filling it, eventually you would clog the holes and it wouldn't breathe exactly right. So let's take this outside and see what happens. Okay guys, this is my basic setup. I got my camping chair all ready, just like we were out camping for real, but I'm at home and everything's kind of safe, and I have a water hose close by in case something does happen. I don't imagine something will happen, but we have our camp stove. It's all filled up. It's ready to go. This little milk crate is just gonna basically be a representation of if I had it on an actual table. So if any damage happens to this milk crate, it's not a big deal. So this thing's just smoking away and doing its thing. We're going to go over some of the negative reviews I was talking about in the beginning. The first one here is be careful using the supplied base as it burns. Yes, it does burn. I have seen this in person when I first started playing with this product out at a campsite. Somebody else says it's dangerous and unsafe. Avoid this fire pit. And they supplied a couple images here of what happened to their table. See if I can enlarge that image a little bit. Okay, so this is what happened to their table, probably on their porch. And yeah, that could be a problem for some people. But that is basically what happened to the base when I was at a campsite, is it turned that dark color. Somebody else says 1 star, good intent, needs some improvement. So I mean, seriously, it could use a little bit of improvement, but I think if you just use basic judgment, you're going to be just fine with this product, and you're not going to have a hard time dealing with it. Definitely don't overfill it, of course, because that's obviously a problem. Somebody else says it's unsafe. Somebody else says it's dangerous. And somebody else really charred the bottom of that thing. I'm not sure how they did that or how long they burned it for to create that, because I never saw a situation quite that charred. Other people are noticing problems. Oh, this looks like somebody here set theirs on like a piece of ceramic, and it overheated the ceramic and cracked it. And it definitely damaged, I believe that's like a bamboo surface that this thing's sitting on, and it definitely damaged that surface there. So that's something to consider if you're looking into something like this. And this person here definitely damaged their tabletop outside. So yes, this is not something I would set personally on a tabletop or a picnic table unless I had some really good protection underneath this product.
Well, okay guys, I put this thing through several different tests. The first test was running it through exactly how it was supposed to be. This right here is after everything was all said and done. Now the total burn time for this thing, after doing that 4 hours of different things with this stove, I did find out that if you want to cook a hot dog, don't do it over the flame. There will be a lot of soot that gets on your food. So if you're trying to do s'mores, wait until the flame dies down. It still creates a whole bunch of heat. So this is after the fact, and I got everything already washed in soap and water. I put it in the sink. This is almost a week after the recording of this video, and I just wanted to show you what everything looks like right now. So the inside is a little damaged. It's got a little bit of blue, some rust on it. This piece here does not seem to be rusting. And we'll get you out. on the outside looks pretty good. There is some bluing on the inside, down on the bottom, because that's where a lot of the heat is when everything's smoldering. Now, I never did recreate the issue that I was concerned about, where this thing was just completely charred, looked like just an absolute mess, like in some of the negative reviews. So all in all, I think it's perfectly safe to use on a milk crate, and a milk crate's an easy option to make this thing safe, fun, portable, and take along with you to a campsite.
Here's the thing, if you're looking to create a lot of smoke, overfilling it is definitely what you want to do. If you don't want a lot of smoke, fill it to the recommended fill level, right around the top of that little mesh screen down there. But if you're trying to get this type of smoke, and you're trying to smoke some fish, you're trying to smoke some meat, possibly some bacon, you can do all kinds of different smoky type options, especially if you had a minor type enclosure, like a little smokehouse or something like that. But I don't think this would be the best option, considering at some point it will probably flare up. So it's going to create too much heat for a smoke situation in an enclosed situation, if you understand what I'm talking about, because you don't want a hot burning fire. So right now, with what it's doing, is it's burning really, really slow. And whenever this thing does flare up, I'm going to let you know. And we're going to have our conclusion of this product at the very end. So far, it's rather positive. I'm not upset with this thing whatsoever. This is the third burn cycle I've put it through, and I've been pretty happy with it so far. Alright guys, this thing finally started to flame up again. So almost exactly an hour if you overfill this thing to get that thing to flame up just like it is right now. So keep that in mind. You're going to experience an hour of tremendous smoke before you start getting an actual real burn time going on. And we're going to let this cycle down, and then we're going to do my in discussion on what I feel about this product, how safe it is, and stuff like that. Okay guys, this thing's been burning for approximately 3 hours now. I got some oven mitts out. The last thing I want to do before I get done is to show you guys what's going on with the base. It's still on fire. It's going to be burning for quite some time after the fact, but I kind of want to wrap this video up. So I'm going to set you guys down. We're going to lift this up off there safely, set it down, and show you guys what's going on with the little wooden plate down below. So, 3 hours of burn time. That's a pretty good amount for any type of camp stove, in my opinion, because you wouldn't use a like a propane camp stove for 3 hours straight. That's kind of my point. But let me get my handy dandy little oven mitts on and get this thing moved to the side and see what's going on. Okay, 3 hours of burn time. This is exactly the amount of damage that's happened. So, okay, as you can see here, there's still quite a bit in there. That's going to burn for another half hour, 45 minutes. So approximately 4 hours total burn time. But this is what the base looks like. So it does have some browning around the edges, especially in the center. But now I'm trying to figure out how these other people had such a really tragic type situation with theirs. I mean, how many hours were they burning this thing, and how much fuel were they putting into this? Because I wouldn't imagine trying to run such a little stove for more time than what I've done already, and I have done minimal damage so far. The benefits are you can use a couple different things to fire off this stove. Wood pellets is one. They're relatively cheap. You can buy them at Walmart. You can get them at most grocery stores, any place that offers like camping supplies or grills. You can pick these things up at like Home Depot for next to nothing, and you can have a fun time when you're going out camping, and you don't have to have a bonfire going at all times. So if you're in an area, city, rural, urban type area, you can have a safe fire outside, and that is extremely helpful. Now, another nice feature to this product is it does come with its own carrying case after it's all cooled down, and however long that's going to take, I don't know. But it's sitting outside in the rain. It's all by itself, and I can see it from right here, so it's safe. It's not going to create a fire or any other hazards. But definitely have some hot mitts on hand just in case you do have to move it. That would be one of my recommendations, so you can do something like I just did, which is move it, put it on a different type of platform, not necessarily a table, even though it is sold as a tabletop smokeless cook stove. I don't think it's the greatest idea to set it on a table without a lot of protection underneath it. And that's just my opinion on that. But overall, as far as the product is, it works. It does exactly what it says it does. If you do not listen to the specific instructions in the handbook, you're going to have some problems. I mean, you're going to overheat the bottom of the base, and the base is made out of wood. It's not very expensively made type base, so it's going to get damaged over time. And I've had, like you guys saw, I had this thing out there for 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. By the time it's done, it's going to be approximately at least 4 hours of straight burn time, and that's without letting it cool down any at all. The only time it did get cool was when it was making smoke, and I could almost just pick it up by hand and move it around at that point. But overall, I think this is a fair product. Not necessarily the safest product in the world, but you have to be careful no matter what type of product you're using when it comes to fire-related type products. So use your better judgment, and I hope this video helps somebody out. And if you're looking to buy a little small camp stove like this, because there's so many out there, there's so many available, you can just check around, shop around. They come in different prices. The most expensive one might not be as good as this one here. The cheaper ones might not be as good, or they could be even better than the one that I just purchased. But I got this for a reason, and so far it's meeting all my expectations. So all right, guys, until next time.